More on all of this in a moment. But who's with me? The aforementioned Ashley Webster. He got his 2 cents worth in there. Elizabeth McDonald. And look, a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. We're keeping her away from her nap time. Maria Bartiromo, of all people. Welcome, Maria.
Great to see you, Stu.
Let's not forget Scott Martin, right there, indeed. Glad you could join us this morning. All right, first to you, Scott. What stops this rally?
Very little. I don't think there's anything that can do it. Stuart, you mentioned on the break, I mean, NASDAQ 6,000. International stocks, by the way, up 30%. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria everywhere. And I'll tell you what's interesting about this market. Every reason that this market has had to go down, it's gone down for like a day or two. And new money, new buyers have come in and layered up in stocks. And so when you look at the latest Trump tax plan, which I perceive as very, very good for this economy, and finally what the economy needs to sustain about 3%, 4% growth continuously, that's a reason to be hopeful, even if it doesn't get done by the end of the year. 2018 looks like another good year for the S&P.
Maria, what stops this rally?
Well, listen, I would say you've got an earnings period coming up next week, and you've got the jobs numbers out tomorrow. All of these reports, whether it's the economic data or the earnings data, will have an impact from the hurricane. So we're going to see a lower number than we've been seeing recently. But we know that. So I would say bring it on. Third quarter earnings next week going to be up 4% overall on the S&P 500. That's way down from the 14% that we saw in the first quarter. But again, there are these temporary things in place. The earnings period is solid. We continue to see a great backdrop. I don't know what stops this market.
And also, look, small business confidence is up. Manufacturing continues to expand. The service sector has suddenly picked up some steam as well. The economy is humming along nicely. And even when we see money coming out of this market once in a while, it comes out of a certain sector. Maybe the tech sector gets hit a bit. It goes into another sector with it. The money gets rotates into another sector. So it's very positive.
1/6 of the market's gains since 2009, a sixth of it comes just from the Trump election. Since the Trump election, it's $4 trillion up. It's $29 trillion up since the collapse in 2009. If those tax cuts don't get done, though, if they're stalling on that, there could be a slippery ride.
Then they're going to start focusing on valuations. I'll just point out one valuation to take note of. ExxonMobil is trading at 38 times earnings. Just saying.
You know, we're very generous.
Maria, you said it.
We didn't give you the
estimates, guys.
It was this close. You were that close, but you make a good point. Scott Martin, repeat that, please. I missed it. Go.
Maria said it earlier, Stuart. You know, earnings estimates have started to come down while everyone was sleeping. Sorry to keep you from your nap, as Stuart said earlier, Maria. But you know what? While everyone was sleeping, earning estimates have come down, and guess what's happened, guys? The S&P has continued to go up, so the bar has been lowered, which we can easily jump over again in this quarter. And this is going to be major beats and reasons for prices to keep going up, even though earnings estimates have come down.
And look at it. We're back up 8 points now, 22,671. I want to get back to FedEx and UPS, lower, sharply lower, after reports that Amazon's testing a new delivery service. You're not surprised about this, are they? I mean, they get into everything.
It's an Amazon economy, Stu.
It is. You're right.
Bottom line.
I think they're trying to fix the last mile, deliver the stuff your last mile, either to your house or wherever it's going to go. That's FedEx and UPS way down on that one.
Drug delivery.
Now, I want to get back to Google debuting 2 new Pixel phones. Maria, should Apple be worried?
Well, everybody's got to be worried because, you know, trends change very frequently. And you know how it is in technology. It's all great. We all have iPhones until we don't. And the next hot thing is out. So far, it doesn't look like anyone's really encroaching too significantly on Apple's market share. But things change real quickly in technology land. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's another hot thing that we want next year that perhaps could eclipse it. So you got to constantly innovate here.
The Pixel 2 XL, it's got a Qualcomm chip, it's got OLED screen, brighter colors, better definition, no headphone jack, wireless buds.
I don't like
and
that.
And this lensing thing, the lensing thing that you hold the phone up to a restaurant, and then you get the phone number. Or you hold it up to a dog, and it tell you the breed. It's now they're trying to make a verb out of lensing. This is Google.
That's good, though.
It's interesting.
Also, if there's music playing in the background, it will immediately appear on your phone and tell you who the song is and who's singing.
That's Shazam, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is built into this phone. That's kind of cool.
A man with no musical ear whatsoever could probably use that kind of thing. Right. The Apple Watch. Here we go. The company, that is Apple, has released an update to fix watch connectivity. You got one, Maria? Maria?
I don't. What I like about it is the healthcare stuff. I like that the fact that they are monitoring glucose, monitoring heart rate, telling you how many steps you took, all on the watch. That's the one thing I like about it. But I don't know if I'll wear it.
I don't want to know.
You don't want to know?
No, I
think
don't
that's TMI.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah,
Knowledge is power.
exactly. Scott Martin, you were right. That's TMI. That's too much information. I mean, you say if you've got a condition and you need to monitor your glucose, so I understand that, but
You don't want to know how many steps you took?
No. Well, I already know on this thing.
Okay, so you're doing it there. So you do want to know that info.
How many steps have you taken from here to the limo?
Look, see that shot? Doesn't it look like I'm on a throne or some kind? I mean,
does it? Oh, you want to be on a throne?
No. Check the big board. We're up 11 points now, 22,673. So we're about 330 away from Dow 23,000. Next case, AT&T's chief won't definitively say if Jeff Zucker keeps his job at CNN once the Time Warner merger is complete. Here's a look at the share price of both companies, AT&T virtually unchanged. I don't think that made any difference to the stock price whatsoever. Higher profits and the better outlook at Constellation Brands. They have a Corona beer, Charles Smith wines, and a whole raft of other stuff, and they're up 4%. That's a nice gain there, 209 on Constellation Brands. A somewhat low-tech offering from Target. You order online, you go to the store, they bring it out, put it in your car. That's their effort at competing with Amazon. Do you think much to it, Lizzie?
Walmart's doing it too. I don't know. Can't you get out of your car to get your stuff? Sorry. Well, it's a good service. I think it's interesting.
They're trying.
Yeah, they're trying.
At least you're getting out of the house instead of having it delivered right to your front door.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know.
I don't want to get out of my
that.
house.
We do nothing anymore.
You don't want to go
we
anywhere.
We don't do anything anymore.
Right.
I mean,
It's great.
everything is done for us.
It's great. America's a wonderful country, let me tell you.
What a
Now,
time to be alive.
Two stocks, got to look at them because one's been moving and one's not. GE and General Motors, they're two of the biggest names in basically industrial America. And they're going in opposite directions. Look at that. The yellow line is General Motors, which has just gone straight up, especially in the last 3 weeks. And the blue line is GE, which has consistently gone down since March of this year. And is barely above 23, 24
Can I
per
just tell
share.
you something? This is the same stock level for GE as it was trading at in 1998.
Yeah, exactly.
It's unbelievable.
The all-time high under Jack Welch, 59 3/4.
Yeah, I remember those days.
So do I.
Yeah.
I remember them from my options that I got.
Yeah,
when I was-
exactly. Yes. I hope you exercised at the right time. Scott Martin, would you buy either General Motors or General Electric at these prices?
I wouldn't, Stuart. We actually own GM already, but I'm not adding to it here because of the fact that I think the stock's run is a little bit overdone here. It's been a big move, as you mentioned. The problem with GE, though, is like, you know, back to thinking about when Maria had those stock options. Back then, you knew kind of what GE was. It had a good business plan. It had all these things it was starting up. Now GE is kind of, you know, in the middle somewhere. They don't really know what the company does. Are they going to spin off some parts of it? I'll tell you what, GE is a total avoid. GM, if it does pull back here some, I would add to it, but not at these levels.
All right, we got it, and it's 9:40. That means I have to say goodbye to Maria. Thank you very much for being with
Thanks
us.
for having me.
You can take that nap anytime you
I'm
like.
not
now.
taking a nap. Let's take a nap.
I'm going to take one.
Well, Scott, yes, you can, because I've got to say goodbye to you as well. Scott, Maria, thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you so much.
Bye.